All right. So for anybody who has never been on one of our webinars before, let me be the first person to welcome you. I am Tony Semino, Vice President of Business Development here at ROK Financial. And I am excited to rock out with everybody today. We are going to just get rocking right away here, guys. I'm going to go through this quick presentation. It's not that long, but I do hope you're going to pull some value from it. And realistically, if you have any questions, make sure you're putting those in the chat. Make sure you're utilizing the Q&A because we're going to open this thing up for a live Q&A session here at the end. So again, really appreciate everybody rocking out with us. Can we get one quick count before we go, before we really get going here? What's that thing say there? How many people? All right. We're almost, what are we, 165? 165. All right. Let's get this thing to 200. Somebody send the link out. All right. So I'm going to take over here a little bit. I'm going to start clicking away. Make sure my mouse works. There we go. All right. So why social selling rocks, right? What is it? Why are we talking about it? Well, like I was saying, it's probably one of the biggest kept secrets of business these days, right? And you may say social media is not a secret. I challenge you to look at today's small business owner and see what their social strategy is, and you tell me if it's still a secret or not. We should be utilizing as small business professionals. I mean, realistically, ROK Financial is a small business. We have 50 some odd employees. We're all located in the same office every single day. And I can tell you every single sales rep on our team, over 60 something sales reps between our internal and external teams, they all have LinkedIn's, which is a professional network. If you're not aware of LinkedIn, I would say that's the first thing you should be doing. But they all have LinkedIn's, Instagrams, and Facebooks that are all designed around selling this product, right? If you're able to reach your type of prospect, or you're able to identify a prospect who maybe you weren't aware of because you're able to go through these social medias, is that of value to you? If you're able to reach more people, is that of value, right? That's what we're all trying to do here. Really quick, in the chat, everybody, if you're trying to do more business in 2023, put a 100% in the chat for me. If you're trying to do more business in 2023, put a 100% in the chat. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody here, the only reason we're joining these calls and looking to learn more is because we want to do more business. Well, I promise you the business is already there to be taken, right? The market is already there. So now that we've identified that, it's about how many different ways can we permeate the market. So I'm going to permeate the market really quick. And if you are not following ROK Financial, I would like you to pull out your handy dandy Apple or Android and do me a favor and follow at ROK Financial, ROK_financial on Instagram. You're going to go on LinkedIn and you're going to follow ROK Financial, and you're going to go on Facebook and you're going to follow ROK Financial. You should probably follow our TikTok if you like to laugh, and you should definitely follow our YouTube if you're looking for more business funding information. Now, I'm going to plug my social media even further. And if you're not following me, you should be following me and all of your points of contact at ROK Financial. If you're working with anybody here and you aren't connected with them on social media, you're not seeing what they're already sharing, which is all resource that's free for you, right? We only share the content that we believe that our network can utilize, right? So if you're not connected with the people that you're working with here at ROK, I suggest you look them up, because I know they're on every platform. I know they're looking for you guys because I train them on it every day. But reach out to us, right? Connect with me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on, I like to think I'm everywhere. But this is, thank you, Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. Really quick, everybody do me a favor. Shout out Lauren Weiss. Today is Lauren's birthday. So I have to just let everybody know that today is Lauren's birthday. Lauren is also the Rock Star of the Year, or ROK's Employee of the Year. So happy birthday to Lauren Weiss. And she does a great job helping me keep my Instagram, my LinkedIn, and realistically, her, Christina, the entire marketing team, they drive all of this initiative, right? So let me dive in here a little bit and just really give you guys some of the insight. Look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm watching all you guys wish her happy birthday. She's probably freaking out. We love it. We love it. We love it. I wish she was down here to get her to sneak in front of the camera. I really do. All right. So just diving in, right? What do we share and what is our strategy behind social media? I thought it was important that this is the way that we started. And this is what we're pointing out, because when it really comes down to it, the content is king, right? I think we can all agree on that, right? Content is certainly king, right? So what do we share? Well, we share the content that we believe is going to create the most noise. What do I mean by noise? I mean engagement. Engagement is the second part. So you have content and you have engagement. These are the two things that if you aren't super familiar with social media, you should start to become a little bit familiar with. Content and engagement. Content is what you share. Engagement is interacting with what other people have shared, right? So as you are starting to build your brand, one of the best things you can do is utilize social media to add legitimacy to the brand that you're building. Anybody who searches ROK Financial right now, you're going to find 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, 5-star reviews on Google, best company, adding up over, what are we at, like 1,800, 1,900 reviews to date? Yeah, well over 1,000 reviews, 1,500 reviews, right? And all of those reviews, they're then shared as content everywhere. We post them on LinkedIn. We post them on Facebook. We post them on Instagram. You'll see them on my story. I have a highlight for them. You will see them everywhere. And the reason is because people want to know that you're helping other people. So how do you allow your people to interact? That's exactly what you have to do. If you are a representative of a business, right? Like I technically am a sales rep. I worked as a sales rep in the company. I started all of these strategies as a sales rep, right? I'm not the company. I don't represent ROK Financial on social media. I represent Tony, and Tony reps ROK. And that adds legitimacy to ROK. That adds legitimacy to Tony. Tony uses ROK's reputation. ROK uses Tony's rock star personality that all of you love, right? And we all are building this thing together. That's the same strategy that you should be utilizing on your social media, right? We share business tips. We make sure that we keep up with current events, and then engagement. I like to call it hyperactivity. We are all over the place when it comes to utilizing all of the different ways that you can touch somebody on a different social media, whether you are talking about DMs or personal messages or likes, comments, shares. LinkedIn has endorsements. You can review somebody. I mean, Facebook, you can leave reviews, right? One of the best and easiest ways to start to gain some traction is start to tell the success stories that you have, right? If you are somebody who is selling a product or you sell a service, every time you do so, there's a story behind that. How did you get that person to go from no to yes, right? Tell that story, utilize that, and you'll be surprised how quickly your social media starts to work for you. So what are we really doing? Well, we're building relationships, kind of like what we're doing here, on this Zoom, right? We are looking to spread the word. We want to share what we know. We want to share our perspective. Why? Because if you are somebody who is a like-minded individual, who is fired up by supporting small business, who has a positive mindset, who is goal-oriented, who is looking to really make a difference in the small businesses in their community, then you should be aligning with ROK Financial. And if you're not, and you do go find us on social media, those are all of those are all of the things that you're going to feel on social media, that you're going to feel from all of the reps, from all of the, all of the different perspectives, right? The one thing that we always preach about social media is be yourself. When you start to actually social sell, all of a sudden it becomes much easier if you were yourself the whole time, right? Like there's certain AI tools, there's people who use third-party resources or virtual assistants, right? And I'm not knocking any of that. I'm just saying, make sure you're not losing that personal touch, right? One of the worst things you can feel like is spam. And a lot of these social medias have those spam blockers. So, just make sure that as you're starting to build your brand or starting to utilize social media to build your brand, you're not working against yourself, right? All of these platforms are a little different. All of them have their ins and outs, right? Facebook has, Facebook has groups, hashtags, and obviously pages if you're a business. You have all of the different features on Instagram, from reels to stories. Each of these different platforms is going to have their own recipe for success, right? I'm not here telling everybody, hey, if you listen to this webinar, you're going to be an influencer tomorrow. What I'm telling you is if you listen to this webinar, you're going to get a good idea that if you cast a wide enough net, you will do business through social media. Now, how effective you are is all about how well you build your web, right? I told you cast a wide net. Now that's how well you build that web is going to be up to you. So I want to transition here for a second. I want to kind of plug the team, plug what we got going on for a second. Because again, when it comes to relationships, we're relationship driven. So shout out to the partnership team. If you guys are working with ROK Financial, you're working with one of these studs here, Tim and his team, they're rocking out for you guys right now. If you have any questions or anything that you want to get answered right now, you can reach out to us directly. There's no need to wait. Trevor, Ryan, these guys are all waiting to talk to you right now. Oliver, if you guys have questions, call and get them answered. You can reach out to us. Christina will drop the phone number in the chat here in a second. You can always reach them directly, but you can call us on our main line. You can head over to rock.biz/partners. You can email us at partners@rock.biz. All of it will end up in your point of contact's hands because they know your relationship best. They will then pull in the right parties, whether it's Christina and the marketing team or Megan and the marketing team. It's, our technology team, or maybe they're able to just answer your question. If not, they'll get the right people in the right seats to get whatever it is that you need done. We're partner centric. We're partner focused here. So if you have anything that you're looking to get answered or any questions that you may have, don't hesitate. I don't want you guys waiting. So here's, Christina just dropped the phone number. We're going to keep it moving. What does it mean to be a partner? Some of you guys might not really understand what that looks like. So if you're a partner, what you get access to is over 75 different lenders. What does that mean? Well, we offer all of the lenders that are on our platform. We offer all of their products and services right at the click of a button. When you apply with ROK Financial, we're going to look to match you with the best 2 or 3 lenders on the platform, get you a few different approvals so that you can make the best decision for your business, right? Once you've been approved, though, it's really up to you to decide whether those approvals make sense or not. So if you are a business owner, you can take as little as 60 seconds to apply with us and connect your banks. We typically look for just a signed ROK application and 3 months of business bank statements to get started. Once we have that, typically we see approvals within anywhere from 2 to 24 hours. So if you have somebody who's looking to move quickly, that's the name of our game, speed. The second part of that, right, is once you are approved, it's still about the speed. We can fund in as little as 1 to 3 business days. So if you have somebody, like I said, who needs to move quickly, we can certainly do that. The second part of this is you get multiple points of contact. And I can't stress that enough. Everybody gets one dedicated point of contact. I saw somebody shouting out Andrew before. He's awesome, as well as the rest of the guys on the team. But you get a main point of contact that they're your person, right? They're who you go to if you have a question, you have scenario you want to run by us, you're looking for marketing material, right? They're who you go to. Now, when you make a actual referral to us, right? Let's say, I see Terry, shout out to Terry. She's been partnered with us and Dwayne for a long time. But Terry, if she sends a deal over to Dwayne, she also has Dwayne. So Terry has 2 points of contact that she can reach out to. Dwayne, who's going to work that deal on her behalf, right? And really streamline the process for her and her clients. And then she also has her partnership point of contact who's making sure she gets paid, getting her any marketing materials, keeping her up to date on all of the changes that are going on here. We're about to roll out some new technology for you guys. So this is all what that partnership advisor will bring, as well as the business finance advisor. They're going to keep you guys up to date on everything ROK Financial. That's why I say, make sure you're following even them on social media, because they're going to share a lot of this stuff there as well. We also have industry leading technology. Right? We are 100% invested into tech. And that is what allows us to move as quickly as we do. It's what allows us to be as seamless as we are, right? Our Salesforce CRM was built at the exact same time as our partner portal. So anything that takes place, any changes that you may make to any deals that you refer or partners that you refer, right? Anything that happens that you do in the portal happens in our CRM. Anything that happens in our CRM then happens for you in the portal. What does that mean? That means we have 100% transparency with all of our partners. So if anything funds, there's no delay, instantaneously, hey, my client funded, this is how much I'm making, this is when I'm getting paid, this is what I can expect, right? Because again, when it comes down to it, we rely on you guys. Every deal that we generate comes from you guys. So why would you leverage us? Well, it's the team. Prior to all of this and the way we do business now, we've been a commercial financing brokerage for the last 15 plus years. All of these lending relationships were like this. Christina will tell you there was 3 lenders here today. Shout out to them and what they were doing. Some brought lunch, some brought their underwriters, right into the office. They want to know, hey, what deals are you guys working on that we can be working on? Right now, that knowledge, experience, those relationships, all of that stuff that we're maintaining, you get access to for free. Not to mention, that any client you refer us is going through a 5-star, white glove treatment type of process. I challenge you guys, if you've never done this, go Google Wells Fargo reviews or Google Chase reviews or JP Morgan Chase reviews. You're going to see things like 1.7 stars. 1.9, 2.3, 3.6, 3.8 is going to be like the highest you're going to see. ROK Financial, 5 stars, 5 stars. And those are real experiences. I know because they're mentioning me, the team that we work with, by name. Every one of those people are backtracked right into our CRM. So again, I can't stress enough how important it is to align with a team that knows what they're working with, right? We have access to multiple programs. As you can see here, in those programs, those 75 lenders make up these programs. So you may offer some of this type of funding. You may offer different types of funding. What I say to you is, how can you utilize these programs to really leverage the relationships that you already have with the network that you've built, right? Those are the best partners. If you have a network of business owners that you're already working with or you're already able to bring to the table, boom. You see here that you can get access to this and any of the type of funding that we have offered, that we are able to offer. And that allows you to go back to your network with confidence and say, hey, I have access to all of this stuff. And it's a 5-star process. It's a 5-star process. Shout out to Joy. I saw her respond back to the email earlier. I was excited that she was going to be on. Joy's one of our top partners. Joy's constantly funding deals left and right over here. But no, it really is. And I know, and she'll tell you, we're not the only person Joy works with. In fact, we try not to be everything to everyone. Now, if you want to send us all of your deals, we have the process that'll work that. But if you're somebody who's, like I said, you're in funding, you may offer one of these types of funding or a different type. Great. Fill the gaps, right? Fill the gaps. We're here to help. If you are able to let us know what you need, we can then utilize our platform and experience to get your clients what it is that they're looking for, right? So what is it about ROK? What are the perks? It's pretty simple. We pay an aggressive referral commission. See, thank you, Joy. I appreciate that. Joy called us hustlers, and there's not a better compliment out there as far as I'm concerned. You can ask Andrew, who's your point of contact, Joy. The number one thing that I say to look for in a partnership is somebody who's a hustler. We certainly know that about you. So shout out to all the hustlers on the call here. Anybody who replied back with 100% before, I know you're a hustler. Really quick, if you're a hustler, drop 100% in the chat. I want to see it go off one more time. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Bobby, first to draw. That's what I'm talking about. See, if we all keep this same mindset, guys, it's easy to do business together. It's easy, right? We pay aggressive commissions. You can leverage our relationships. If you know other people that have large networks and can leverage our platform, there's an override program. There's also investment opportunities. If you're unaware of being able to participate on these loans, I suggest you reach out to your point of contact and learn a little bit more about that. You can potentially be participating on this loan and earning on the referrals that you're making, as well as allowing you for extra earning potential on any participations that you make, right? So really quick though, before I go any further, I just want to highlight the override program. The number one way that I teach my team to generate referral partners, everybody, is social media. It's what we're talking about today. I tell everybody, start with social media. If you build yourself a strong social media, anytime somebody looks you up, they'll be able to do a little bit of background and really understand who you are, because you've already provided them that information, right? Well, that's actually not the key to success. The key to success here at ROK Financial, believe it or not, our number one lead source for referral partners is other referral partners. Our referral partners take advantage of this override program like you've never seen. We do a lot through influencers, a lot through networks, a lot through some really great people that we've had a sick chance to meet. In fact, if it wasn't through some of these networks, some of you guys wouldn't even be on these calls right now. So shout out to anybody who's partnered with us through a network or anything like that. But I want you guys to know, any of these networks or major partnerships or strategic alliances, like any of the biggest partnerships on my platform, any single one, like I am not joking. There is not one. I'm running through a lot of them in my head right now, trying to find one like really, profitable partnership that we have that wasn't referred by another referral partner. There's not one of them. Every single one is referral partners who are referring over other partners. They're utilizing hey, if you are somebody who's getting deals from these people as your own referral partner, don't send them to me. I don't want to take your referral partner. But if you know that, hey, this person also has a network of small businesses, I don't necessarily know if I could support that type of relationship. Like, we have some large influencers that have multiple 500, 600, 700,000 followers. When they drop a video, we see 700 to 1,000 applications inside of 15 minutes. We have the system to support that. Not everybody does, right? So if you are somebody who knows these types of people, I would suggest you look into the override program and start to ask some questions about that, because that's one of the simplest ways to utilize the process. The easiest thing that I could tell you is the 3 N's. What I mean by the 3 N's is all we need from you is for you to provide a name, a number, and a need for financing. If you're able to do that, you can sit back and relax. You have the ability to just allow us to work the transaction exactly how we know best, from open to close. Now, you can be involved as much or as little as you'd like. I don't necessarily want everybody to be hands off. If you have relationships with your clients, get involved. Absolutely. I need your help. I love a third party. However, if you're somebody who just doesn't necessarily want to be involved, you don't have to be. You can sit back and earn those commissions. So I just want to point this out, how easy it is to use ROK. If you sign up with us, you essentially get access to becoming the CEO of your own brokerage, because we will do everything that you ask and say. And then you don't have to do any of the work. We will do all of the heavy lifting. You don't have to gather docs. You don't have to gather STIPs. There's no closing process. All of this stuff is taken care of. So let me just keep things moving here, going through and going back into the topic, social selling. Um, so as we kind of transition back into social selling, I just want to point out a few things. Number one is LinkedIn. Let me tell you guys a quick little story. LinkedIn is where it all starts for us, right? And what I mean by that is anybody who's a new rep, the first thing we do, build them, he or she or they or them, a brand new LinkedIn. They start fresh. We have them optimize their profile. What I mean by that is they go through their profile and they just make sure that it speaks to everything that they are and Rock Financial is. Right? They tell the Rock story, they tell their story, and they tell a blended version of them both. Then we go to market and we start social selling. And that's where kind of we're at today. Right. So what is it about social selling? What is it that it really allows you to do? Well, it's all about expanding your network, right? If you are familiar with the term, your network is your net worth. Well, what if I told you you could exponentially grow your network? Would you like to exponentially grow your net worth? Absolutely. I'm sure we would all like that, right? So if that's the case, start using social media. I can't stress enough how important it is. You can literally find a community for anything. Um, if you are a sports person, there is sport business things everywhere on social media. If you are into like fitness and health and wellness and motivation and business, that is everywhere on social media. If you are into cats and business, and I'm sure they have that on social media. The point is I promise you, you're not the only person that feels this way, and you can connect with other people who are already like you. Let me give you a quick piece of advice, a little bit of sales training, sales tip here. Okay. People do business with people that they like. People like people that are like themselves. Therefore, people buy from people that they believe are like them. So what does that mean? That means if you go start doing business with people that you're like and people that are like you, it all of a sudden makes doing business that much easier because now you're not trying anymore. It's just natural. You're able to have a normal conversation. You're not selling, right? In fact, here we don't believe in selling. It's why everybody's called an advisor or an officer or this or that, because we take the advisor role. There's no vendors here. We don't offer features and benefits. We service a need, right? And because of that, we're able to make real connections. We're able to really prospect. We're able to really, really connect. And when you do that, all of a sudden you create engagement. And creating engagement is what it's all about, right? The one thing that I would say is if you're looking to create engaging content or messaging on social media, ask a question. People like to hear themselves talk, right? If you're able to ask a question and it engages people, you wouldn't believe what would happen. Shout out to Greg Amendola, our VP of sales here. I watched Greg go viral on LinkedIn, all because he asked what was the best TV show of all time. The answer was The Sopranos. We already knew that, though. If you're on this call, you knew that already. No, I'm just kidding. Throw your favorite TV show in the chat for me. The selections were, if I believe, I'm looking at Christina because I don't know if she remembers, but I believe it was Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, and I can't remember. There was probably a fourth one. Ooh, Peaky Blinders. That's a good one. Narcos. That's a great TV show. Game of Thrones. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yellowstone. Few Yellowstones. Look at it. MASH. John going old school. I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So you can see how quickly, like, something as stupid as, hey, what's your favorite TV show creates engagement. Look at all of us engaging about about TV shows, right? And we're not even on social media, right? Again, all about how do we create engagement? All about how do we get these people to start interacting with our profiles? Now, it might not be the question about, hey, what's the best TV show of all time, right? That gets you the sale. But it might get them to click on your profile and go find something else out about you. That is the hook that brings them in, right? You need the hook and the close, right? The hook can be anything. It can be, what's your favorite TV show? I mean, the question that I went most viral for was, what's the best Girl Scout cookie? Samoa's, right? And that's, I can't stress enough how silly some of this stuff is, guys. You may sit here and debate it like we have for hours as to what it is to be, successful, or what it takes to be successful on social media. It's simple. It's, look, Thin Mints. I love it. I love it. I love it. Correct answer. I love it. I love it. So look, Kathy put it perfectly for everybody. Shout out to Kathy. It's called breaking the ice, right? We call it bonding and rapport in sales, right? You got to build that rapport with your prospect, and it can happen pretty instantly if you're able to utilize something that you have in common, right? So I point to LinkedIn first because, again, we start our process on LinkedIn. Why? It's the professional network, right? It's the professional social media, and people are typically looking to do business on social media. You can connect with business owners directly. You can connect with referral partners. You can connect with pretty much anybody who is and around the types of business that you want to support. You can go get a job on LinkedIn if you really want. But the point is when you are on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's going to have its own way to interact. So like I was talking about, you have polls, they like photos and videos and all of this different type of content that your network can interact with. I don't know if you guys are on LinkedIn, but if you are, one of the best tools for prospecting on LinkedIn is groups. If you're not in a bunch of groups, join them, because once you get in those groups, you can share all of this content and all this engagement directly into the group. Same thing with video. Right? If you have video, you can share that video directly into the group. If you are able to go live, you can go live right on LinkedIn. You can go live right into those groups. You can start your own group and getting people to engage with you for going live about whatever it is that the group is about. Again, sky's the limit with social media, guys. It's really all about how much you want to invest, how creative you want to get, right? Then you have Instagram. Instagram is a unique one. I will say, right, the one thing I want to point out is you can't get this wrong. There are influencers on every one of these platforms. There is business being done on every one of these platforms. I met a gentleman with 30 million subscribers to a Snapchat channel, and he sells something like, he was saying 750 to 1,000 cars a month through this channel, through a Snapchat channel. I'm like, is this serious? Blew my mind, right? You can do business anywhere. It's all about how you spin it in each of the different platforms, right? So Instagram, I would tell you, you can be a little bit more of yourself, right? LinkedIn, I always say, make the personal professional and the professional personal. Instagram, I would tell you, keep it personal. People like to interact with people. And yes, your role may be salesperson, but your identity is different, right? So it's important that you show off that identity to get people to connect with that, right? You can boost your posts on Instagram, which you can do on LinkedIn as well. But Instagram makes it really easy. The metaverse makes it really easy to boost your posts, whether you're talking about Facebook or Instagram, and really reach your targeted audience even that much better. You can reshare old content, right? So even if you're using content elsewhere, you can use it in your story on LinkedIn. I mean, on Instagram, I share my content off of my feed into my story daily, right? Daily. Christina's shaking her head yes, in case you guys were on there. But daily, right? Because again, number one, I produce great content. But number two, it's because I want people to see it. I want you to see my shit. I took the time to make it. So now I want you to see it. Why wouldn't I reshare it? Especially if I believe it's impactful, especially if I believe the messaging was there and maybe we just didn't time it right. Speaking of timing, best post I ever had on Instagram, got like 150 followers overnight, was I shared about our cannabis funding on 420. What else did I do? I boosted the post. I cheated, right? I used the tools that they gave me access to. I made it an ad, right? So again, utilize the entire process, guys. It's important that you learn these platforms, and don't take my word for it. Go follow the people that are good at it. Christina will tell you, I share all of these Instagram influencers, all of their ideas we share amongst each other so that we can bounce them off of each other and talk about how do we spin them up for ROK? How do we spin them up for Tony? How do we spin them up and make it sound like a referral partner thing, right? Because that's the name of the game, is jumping on the what's hot bandwagon just like everybody else. And that will allow us all to ride right to the top. I promise you, right? And this goes for every social media. It's not just Instagram. Facebook kind of goes hand in hand with Instagram. And that's kind of why we put them right next to each other, is because they go hand in hand with one another. Facebook owns Instagram, for anybody who isn't aware. If you have a business profile on Instagram, it has to be connected to a Facebook page. So you need a Facebook business page in order to have a Instagram business profile, right? So if you're somebody that's looking to get more into this, if you're somebody that's looking to really push the envelope, let me ask you a question. Do you have a business page? Do you have a business profile? Even if you have your personal, right? I have 2 Instagrams. I have 2 Facebooks. I have a Facebook page. I have all of it. Why? Because it's just more ways to reach you. It's more ways for you to see my content. It's more ways for you to see pictures of my kid wearing ROK financial gear, right? It's more ways for me to connect with you and let you know I'm a real person. That's what it's all about, guys. It's all about creating that bond. It's all about creating that connection. So on Facebook, you can create ads and really target your audience. I don't want to get lost on, on the individual platforms, because Facebook, when you're building out an ad, I've gotten to play around with these some, and Facebook's been my favorite one to play around with, because I guess they capture the most amount of personal information. So you can really, really get down into the nitty gritty with who you're targeting and what you're saying to them. So as you're doing this, make sure it's personalized, right? Don't don't share a message that doesn't point back to you. Don't share a message that's not relevant to what it is that you're talking about. Don't share a message that isn't going to, I'll give you one. We did a sales training yesterday with a gentleman by the name of Drew B. Wilson. And shout out to Drew B, because he gave some really great and fire content, as they call it these days, right? He dropped some gems on us, and he pointed something out that a lot of people, they don't necessarily think this way. And he basically said, is what you're doing a revenue generating activity, right? I challenge you to start to think of social media as a revenue generating activity, right? How do you utilize direct messaging, joining groups, finding your target audience? It's how it started for me. It was me playing around in my downtime that allowed me to start to see success. Now I got 20,000 LinkedIn connections, and we do more business through LinkedIn than you would ever imagine, right? So what is the benefit? Well, it's the brand awareness. It's increasing that market share, and that approach that you take to the market. It's really adding validity to that, and really streamlining the way that you're able to connect with the people that you're looking to connect with. So it also will help to increase the number of potential buyers who see your information, right? So if you are selling a product or service, like I was saying before, and you're not utilizing LinkedIn, how are you going to build your brand? How are people going to see it if they're not seeing it, right? And that may sound silly, but it's simple. Those who are using social media, you're well ahead of the people who aren't using social media, right? Like, it's one of those things where, like, not doing it is certainly not the way to be. Even if you're doing it badly, you're getting somewhere. It's also a great way for lead gen, right? You can utilize these different avenues to generate leads for your business. You can also use it just for overall web traffic. We share a lot of blogs on our website. Blogs aren't always the hottest topics, but guess what? That blog starts to go viral on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, or, we post about it. And now all of a sudden that traffic is going directly to that blog and reading that blog because we had a really sick headline on a post about it, or somebody spun up a video on it. Right. And now all of a sudden there's way more traffic on our website, and it's got nothing to do with really selling. It's a blog. It's this, it's that, right? Like nothing is a hard sell, right? People don't like to be sold anymore. They like information and they like to make decisions. So give them the information and let them make the decisions. Ask great questions and they'll make the right decisions. Oh, we went to, sorry. Couple quick things on email marketing. This is the key to it all, right? You want to know why social media matters? Data. I can't stress it enough, right? It allows you to aggregate information. Bring this back and start to use it. That's how you convert. Some people convert instantaneously. Call it 5%. But if 5% of people convert every 3 months and you run campaigns for a year, you now have 20% conversion on that original campaign versus just the 5% you had if you only reached out once, right? So what we do is we use all of this social media to go out and get the information, and then we connect it with our email marketing machine that we have built, and we harass them to join our webinars like you're on right now. No, I'm just kidding. We share our success stories. We share reviews. We talk about our webinars and all of the things that we do, business tips and all of the tricks and the information and the lender knowledge and all of the things that we have to share. We share directly with the people that we're connected with on social media, because if they're seeing it on social media, they're seeing it in their email. All of a sudden, when they think of small business funding, they're not thinking of anybody else, right? So brings me to my next point. If you're on this and you haven't signed up yet and you heard that whole pitch, I don't know what else to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. What I would tell you is reach out to us now. Send an email, partners@rok.biz, go on our website and click in. We'll reach right out to you, or reach out to us directly. Call in. You see the 833 number here. You can learn more about our partner program. You can ask these guys how they're utilizing social media, how they're utilizing LinkedIn, what are their strategies behind it. The one thing I will say is everybody on the team is using it. Every single person on our team is using it. In fact, we have multiple full-time employees who their whole job is social media. Right. So when you start to think about that, if you're somebody that's not utilizing social media, I really got a challenge. We really appreciate everybody joining us, everybody taking the opportunity to hang out with me and let me talk at you for a little bit over an hour here. If you are somebody that isn't working with ROK, please think about utilizing us in the future. Otherwise, if you are a current partner of ROK's, keep rocking, as we always say. I'm really looking forward to next month's webinar. We got another jam-packed session for you guys. So make sure you keep an eye out for that on our social media, as well as through email and text message. And if you need us in the meantime, guys, we do not stop working. We are always in the office. Feel free to call us. Thank you guys so much for joining and rocking out with us. And as we always say, until next time, everybody, keep rocking.